So we've put our eggs into a pan of cold water and we're just going to put them on. Once the water begins to boil, we then want to put our timer on for 4 minutes. So once the timer's gone off, we just want to transfer our cooked eggs over into the bowl of cold water that we've got ready earlier. So now just leave them in the cold water to cool down, and then once they've cooled down, we'll take the shells off. So now we're going to move on to the sausage meat. This is what we're going to wrap around the eggs. We're using Tesco's sausages here. These are gluten free. You can buy gluten free sausage meat outside of the skins. It tends to be a little bit more expensive though, and you can't always get it all year round, whereas you can get hold of these. We're going to use 1 sausage per egg. If you'd like a little bit more on there, then you can do that, that's fine. So let's get stuck in. So now it's time to add the seasoning. You can go a bit freestyle on this, or you can just follow what we're doing. You can be quite creative. Depends on the type of sausages that you've got, what seasoning's already in them. So we find the ones that we're going to show you today go quite well. So we just put a little bit of salt, don't want too much. A little bit of pepper. We're going to have some dill. If you want to use measurements, you can. It's about quarter of a teaspoon. And the same with the parsley as well. And we're also going to put a bit of Dijon mustard in there. This one's from Aldi. It doesn't specifically say that it's gluten free, but when you look at the ingredients, they don't put any wheat flour in them. A lot of mustards, they add wheat flour to them. So if you don't feel confident by doing it by eye, like I'm doing here, what you can do is you could always get a set of weighing scales out and make sure that you've got 4 even side balls. So now we're going to move on to making the breadcrumbs. You can buy shop-bought gluten-free breadcrumbs, but today we're going to make our own. We tend to find they're a little bit nicer than buying the shop-bought ones. So as you can see, it's only taken about a minute and we've made some of our own very own gluten-free breadcrumbs. Okay, so now the eggs have cooled, taken about 20 minutes. We've just taken them out of the bowl of cold water and we just want to take the skins off of them. So I've got myself set up, eggs are now peeled, sausage is ready. So what I've got here is, I've got a plate here filled with gluten-free flour, plain flour. I've got 1 beaten egg, and then I've got the breadcrumbs that we just made earlier. So I've got that set up, ready for me to make the Scotch eggs. Okay, so what you want to do is, you're going to get a little bit of excess plain flour, and just put some in your hand, and then just rub that into your hand a little bit like that. And just take any excess off. What we're then going to do is, we're going to grab one of the sausage meats. If you don't flour your hand, it will just stick to your hand and it won't go evenly. So make sure you've got that bit of flour in there first. Pop the sausage meat into your hand, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to make it into sort of like an oval shape, sort of like a bit like a burger really. We're just going to pat it down ready like that. As you can see, it's now a nice size. What we're then going to do is we're going to grab one of our eggs. We're going to roll the egg in the flour like that, and just bounce the egg up and down in the flour. Just knock any excess of the flour off of it there. Like that. We're then going to place the egg inside the sausage meat like so, and then wrap the sausage meat around the egg. We're now ready to roll that sausage meat into the egg. This will then give the egg a really good coating. So we just want to roll that in the egg, like so. Shake off any excess, and now put that into the breadcrumbs. Just give that a good roll. So make sure it's really well covered. Don't be shy. Push some of the breadcrumbs into the mixture. Give it a little bit of a tap. You can leave it there if you want, or you can do a double. So when you go back into the egg, give that another coating, like so. Shake off the excess, and go back into the breadcrumbs for a second round. What we need to do is use a set of tongs because the oil is very hot. I'm going to grab one of the eggs and just want to drop it in there, and you should then see it bubble away like that. That's perfect. You want to make sure that you're turning it regularly so that it gets a nice even cook, so that the breadcrumbs don't stick to it. We're going to cook these for about 4 minutes on each side, once you've done the initial sort of turning. So the egg's now been in for 4 minutes and we've been turning it regularly, and as you can see it's got this lovely golden brown colour all the way around the outside. What you want to make sure you've got is a dripping tray, or if you haven't got one of these, what you can do is just use a bit of kitchen foil, put it on a plate, and that'll drain all the excess oil off. And now we want to just carry on and cook the rest of our eggs exactly the same way.